Hi students, in the last class we have discussed about the five kingdom classification. We have discussed the characters, the various features of the five kingdom. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the bacteria. Okay. We know that bacteria, these are unicellular organisms, and they are prokaryotes. They are prokaryotic and unicellular organisms, and they are the smallest living organisms, and they are cosmopolitan. That means they can be found anywhere. In a wide variety of habitats they can be found, and some of them are very useful to human beings and some are harmful to us. Okay, so in this section we are going to study about the classification of bacteria. Bacteria can be classified on the basis of their shape, on the basis of the mode of respiration or the mode of nutrition. Okay, so firstly we can study about the shape. Based on the shape, the bacteria which are classified into four types. The bacteria may be oval shaped or rod shaped, or maybe spherical or coiled or comma-like. Okay. So there are four types of bacteria based on their shape. So there are cocci, bacilli, spirilla and vibrio. The oval or spherical shaped bacteria are known as the cocci. The singular form is coccus. This type of bacteria, they may be found alone. That means they may occur singly. At that time they are known as micrococcus. If they are found as pairs, it is known as what? Diplococcus. And sometimes they may be found as chains, long chains. At that time it is known as streptococcus. So they are micrococcus, diplococcus or streptococcus. Then the rod-shaped bacteria. The rod-shaped bacteria are known as bacilli. The singular form is bacillus. They also occur singly. At that time it is known as bacillus. If they are found as pairs, it is known as diplobacillus. Then if found as chains, it is known as what? The streptobacillus. Okay. Then some type of bacteria which may be highly coiled, spirally arranged, that may be like a corkscrew. Okay, so that type of bacteria, that is what? The spirilla bacteria. Then some are comma shaped, comma like, and that are motile with a flagella. That type of bacteria, it is known as the vibrio. So based on the shape, there are four types of bacteria: cocci, bacilli, spirilla and vibrio. So these are the types of bacteria based on their shape. Now, based on the mode of their respiration, there are two types of bacteria. They are aerobic bacteria and anaerobic bacteria. The aerobic bacteria which respire in the presence of oxygen, whereas the anaerobic bacteria, they respire in the absence of oxygen. So here presence, this is absence of oxygen. And they may be obligate or facultative. In the case of obligate aerobes, they respire only in the presence of aerobic condition, that is in the presence of oxygen. That is, they respire only in the aerobic condition. There is only aerobic respiration. But here in this case of facultative aerobes, they are under the normal condition, they are anaerobic. But when oxygen is available, they can respire what? Their mode of respiration may be what? Aerobic respiration. For example, the photosynthetic bacteria, they show facultative aerobic respiration. Then the case of obligate aerobes, that is what? Bacillus, subtilis, Bacillus subtilis. Is an example. Now when you come here in the anaerobic respiration, that is in the absence of oxygen. So here in the obligate anaerobes, they respire only anaerobically. They respire only anaerobically. But here in facultative anaerobe, they in the normal condition, they are aerobic. But if there is a deficiency of oxygen, their mode of respiration can be changed into what? Anaerobic respiration. Okay. So there is what in the obligate anaerobes, there is what? Clostridium botulinum. And in the case of facultative anaerobes, there is Clostridium tetani. Okay, these are some examples. Okay. So based on the shape, Cossae, Bacillus, Spirilla, and Vibrio. Then on the mode of respiration, there are aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. Now we are moving to, based on the classification of bacteria, based on the mode of nutrition. So, on the basis of the mode of nutrition, there are two types of bacteria. Okay? They are autotrophic bacteria and heterotrophic bacteria. So here, in the case of the autotrophic bacteria, these bacteria can make their own food by using the solar energy, the light energy, or maybe by using the chemical energy. So they can make their own food. So they are known as what? The autotrophic bacteria. So if they are using the solar energy, they are known as photosynthetic bacteria or photoautotrophic bacteria. Okay. So if they are using the chemical energy, they are known as chemosynthetic or chemoautotrophic bacteria. So there are two types of what? Autotrophic bacteria based on their usage of the type of energy. Okay, so the photosynthetic use light energy, then chemosynthetic use what? The chemical energy. The photosynthetic bacteria, which possess bacterial chlorophyll and chlorobium chlorophyll. The bacterial chlorophyll, it is bluish colored, and the chlorobium chlorophyll is green colored pigment. So these two pigments, these are located in the spherical bodies. That spherical body, it is known as the chromatophores. Okay, so in this chromatophore there is what? Bacterial chlorophyll and the chlorobium chlorophyll. Okay, so in this photosynthetic bacteria, during their photosynthesis, no oxygen is evolved during the photosynthesis in photosynthetic bacteria. So that type of photosynthesis is generally different from the photosynthesis in green plants. It is contrast to the photosynthesis occurring in the green plants. So this type of photosynthesis, it is known as what? The anoxygenic photosynthesis. So in photosynthetic bacteria, there is anoxygenic photosynthesis. And in this chemosynthetic bacteria, the oxidase, I told you that they use the chemical energy. Okay, and they oxidize the inorganic, some of the inorganic substances. And the energy is trapped in the ATP molecules. The energy is trapped in the ATP molecules. And this energy, it is used in the assimilation of carbon dioxide. That energy is used, the energy trapped in the ATP molecules, it is used in the assimilation of carbon dioxide. That is here in the chemosynthetic bacteria. The chemosynthetic bacteria, they may be nitrifying bacteria or sulfur bacteria or what? Iron bacteria. So these are examples for what? The chemosynthetic bacteria. Okay. So based on the nutrition, there are two types of bacteria. The first one was what? Autotrophic. The second one is heterotrophic bacteria. They cannot make their own food by using energy, the solar or what chemical energy. So here they obtain their food from outside source. They obtain their food from an outside source. And they may be of three types. They are saprotrophic, then symbiotic and parasitic bacteria. So in the case of saprotrophic bacteria, they obtain their food from dead, decayed organic materials. They obtain their food from the dead and decaying organic materials. But in the case of symbiotic bacteria, they form a beneficial association with some other organisms. They form a beneficial association with other organisms. And in that and through this association, they obtain food. For example, the rhizobium bacteria is an example for that. They make association with the root nodules, okay, of other legume plants. Then is the parasitic bacteria. They obtain food from other living organisms. So these living organisms are called what? Host. So they obtain food from their host. They live in the body of other organisms and they obtain food from them. So these other organism, that is known as what? The host. Okay. So depending upon the nutrition, there are two types of bacteria, autotrophic and heterotrophic. In the autotrophic, there is photosynthetic bacteria and chemosynthetic bacteria. Then heterotrophic, there is what? Saprotrophic, symbiotic, and there may be parasitic types of bacteria. So here we have just learned the classification of bacteria. The classification of bacteria based on their shape, based on their mode of respiration, and based on their mode of nutrition. Okay, so we have just completed this. And now we are going to conclude this section. And if you may just go through your textbook, and if you find any difficulty, you can call me or you can message me. And have a nice day. Thank you.